Hey guys, how are you? For this video I'm thinking of doing a favorites video because personally I know they're like a throwback to the past, but I really love favorites videos. I love like scouring for like new music and new art and like different things that people buy that are special to them. Like I love that kind of stuff. If you don't know what they are, it's basically when people just talk about like their favorite music of like the last few months, favorite art, like movies they've been watching in media, just like things like that, or like special things they've bought. I'm a bit of a little mini present buyer for myself. I love buying presents. I love buying, you know, within reason. Don't overconsume, but I love buying little presents for myself. I'm also a big music lover. Love finding like a cool little show or movie that makes me feel inspired from life. I think I'll just go in sections for this. I don't know, it's my first time doing one, so we'll see how we go. Alright, first on the list is a really awesome, cool, like royalty fantasy girl band named The Last Dinner Party. Their music is so like siren witchy energy. I actually saw them live at River Stage in Brisbane. They were opening for TV Girl and they were so good. I really liked them. I think most of them are from England, but one of them is actually Australian, which is cool. I think it's 5 girls. Their most popular song is Nothing Matters. When I heard that song, I was like playing that over and over again. I love that song. Visually, like, you can tell that they put a lot of thought into like the visual aspect of their band. Like I've watched a few performances on YouTube. It's a very cool aesthetic that they have curated in their performances, and I just really like their music. Super cool. Like side note, I'm just loving the resurgence of all these like girl bands. I don't think I personally had ever really connected and found a girl band that I really liked growing up. So like now to be like older and like finding all these bands that are just like super cool, and I'm so fangirling over them, and for them to be women, it's just like, it's kind of healing because I'm a fangirl at heart. I'm obsessed with BTS. Like, you know, I had a little bit of a moment with One Direction, but I feel like I've never fangirled over women, and it's just so nice to like kind of have that experience. I don't know, let me know if you relate to that. Another musician that I saw live that like changed my love for them, and I love when this happens. I love when you like someone and you go see them live and you're like, oh, I love these guys. That happened to me with Phoebe Bridgers. Like I've always liked her music obviously, but seeing her live was just like, it was just so good that I like was like, whoa, I love her. And now like listening to her music, I love her music, and that's like the best thing ever when that happens. I love when that happens. Similar thing has happened with Omar Apollo. I'm pretty sure he's American and maybe Mexican, but he is like a queer icon, gorgeous. I'm pretty sure he like produces all his music. His voice is so amazing. Like live, I was like, girl, you are incredibly talented. Like his music's quite like, it's kind of like R&B sometimes it's like pop, but at the same time like he has a real alternative twist to a lot of his music. It's so interesting the way he like crafts and builds a song. Me and my friend got so lucky. We came like right when the opener finished, so like not early, and like we kind of were on the side. There was barricades and they pushed the barricades like closer to Omar right at the last second. Me and my friend literally got up right at the front, and we like could see him so beautifully, and we were just dancing. We had his space, and it was just one of those nights that I was like so happy, and it was just one of my favorite live shows ever. It was so good. Like I know a lot of people probably know Omar Apollo, but I've got to say it because he was incredible. Go see him live. Right, these two people are kind of like listening in the background type music that I've really been enjoying. There's someone called Molly Lewis, and she like whistles, and her whole thing is like just whistling songs. It's really got a whimsical like fae fantasy vibe to the music. So nice to listen to if you're in that kind of mood. And also sometimes you just don't feel like listening to words. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but sometimes you just want something that's so non-invasive. Oh, the second band is, I don't know how to say this name, but Ana Frango Electrico. The album I've been listening to is this. and she's Portuguese, and in the album that I listen to, all her music is sung in Portuguese. I don't know if this is like a universal thing, but sometimes it's just nice to listen to music you don't understand and it just sounds different to what you usually listen to. And also this album is like really cool and fun. It's like a fun album but with low stakes. So if like you're getting ready in the morning and you want like something to like get you like bopping, I would listen to this album. Also, I just have to mention this. Obviously, I've been listening to Brad Summer. I personally have never been clubbing and do not like it, but this album has made me like be like, I need to be going to bars and clubs and dancing. Like, I need to be going to bars and clubs and dancing. That's it. I need to go. Okay, moving on from music, I'm going to go into media and movies. Number one is challenges. I have talked about challenges in a past video, but I just want to re-say challenges was so cool. I loved challenges. I thought it was so hot. I don't really need to elaborate on that, you know. It was. But also I feel like it was just so original. To me, the aesthetic and the way it was shot was so beautiful. I love movies that there's such an aesthetic and vibe to it, and that movie really has that. The music is so cool. It gives me the same vibes as Brad Summer. Like listening to that, like too, I want to go to the clubs with that music. I probably won't go, I'm telling you that right now. I probably will not go to a club, but I'm just saying it makes me feel like I want to go to a club. Some of you might have seen this, like Coraline in August, it was having heaps of like re-showings but in 3D, and me and my sister went to one and it was so good. I hadn't watched it since I was little, and when I would watch it when I was little, obviously I was terrified, and I was one of those kids who did not watch horror, and when I was watching Coraline did not know it was a horror. So that stuff, it did mess me up a little. It did. But rewatching it as an adult, God, that movie is good. That movie deserves all its flowers. It is so beautiful, and all the characters are so like eccentric but also so human. You feel like you just know these characters. It really depicts, I think, like child neglect really well, and like especially only children, I think, who have to like make their own fun and like feel alone. Like I think that's actually such a beautiful thing to portray. I really loved it. It's so aesthetically beautiful. My goodness, I really love Coraline. I feel like rewatching it this Halloween. Like that's in a month's time, but I feel like I could just rewatch it because it's so good. Oh, Theatre Camp. If you have not watched Theatre Camp, but you are like an artsy queer kind of person, you should watch Theatre Camp. If you went to Theatre Camp, I didn't. So sad. I never did acting as a kid. If you did go to Theatre Camp, I feel like you must watch because it was such a good movie. It's like set as like a mockumentary. It's like set like it is documenting a theatre camp, and it's like really ridiculous. The whole movie is like making fun of theatre kids, but in such an endearing, like lovely way. Like it made me laugh so much. It's one of those movies too that I feel like I could just rewatch a lot. So good. The actors, I think some of the main actors also like created the story too, which is really cool. I think it's like guy from Pitch Perfect, I think his name's Ben, and then Molly something. They star in it and they have created it or wrote it, I don't know, but really good. I loved that movie. I love a wholesome show. I have to be in a very specific mood to watch intense things. So if you're not really like that, sorry, I'm probably not giving you recommendations that you will enjoy. Oh, last one. I also have watched it's a new movie called The Holdovers. I think it was shot in the 1970s. We follow like the story of like 3 people who were going through hard times in their lives, and it's set at a school, and like the holdovers is like referencing to kids who don't go home with their families on Christmas and then they're like left at the boarding school. It had like a soft, uplifting feeling to it, even though it addressed dark themes. I recommend that if you're feeling like a slow, calming, beautifully shot movie. The main 2 books that I can... Oh, I read Fourth Wing. That's one that I haven't got. Oh, yes I do. Okay, so these are some of the books I've read lately. Disclaimer, I love fiction. I'm quite the same with my movie preferences as my book preferences. I like it to be overall lighthearted. Red, White and Royal Blue. It's very teenagery. When I was reading this, like there is parts that are like, they're so like, this is so targeted for a young audience, but I really liked this book. It was so sweet. Basically the story, it's like kind of enemies to lovers between the first son of an American president and like the Prince of England. It's like, it is made for young people, and when you're reading it, you know that, but it was really sweet and fun. It also like gave me real nostalgia of like reading like books like this when I was younger, like silliness and like being so in love that everything in the world is better, and like that kind of like storyline is very prominent in this, and it's just cute. Fourth wing, you hate to see it. Fourth wing Slade. I like it. Slade. My friend bought me this for I think my birthday or Christmas or something, I can't remember. It Slade. It was so fun. Same vein of like Divergent and like Twilight. It's like, it's just like a fun romantic hottie book. Okay, it's fun, it's silly. It had dragons in it, and I love dragons, so that was awesome. Like, are the characters a little bit insufferable? Yes, they are. I still love reading this. I love something that's just like so lighthearted, romantic. It's like, ooh, you know, one thing about me, I love an enemies to lovers. I love an enemies to lovers. This is an enemies to lovers book. Enough said. This is such a beautiful book. Like, I don't usually read nonfiction, but it's one of those books that you just like the whole time you're reading things, and it just like hits you in waves, all these like beautiful messages. If you don't know who Glennon Doyle is, she's basically like, she was a Christian woman writer, and she wrote a lot of books about like marriage and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure. And then her husband cheated on her. She also ends up falling in love with a woman. So it basically follows her story. I won't spoil anything for you, but Glennon does a podcast now with her partner, and I won't tell you who the partner is. Glennon like writes things so accessibly and so beautifully, and for me is one of those people in the activist space who like kind of lead with hope always. Like, I always feel like hopeful after listening to her. It just is one of those books. It's this really special book. Last thing is just basically like miscellaneous things. First of all, I need to talk about my Fuji camera. I bought this like maybe a year ago, 6 months ago. It was very expensive, but honestly I do not regret buying it at all. I've used it so much. If you don't know about these cameras, they kind of like, they simulate film. They have filters in the camera. You choose a filter and then it takes a photo with the editing and the filter on top of it already. I've always had a digital camera like the one I'm filming on. I've never wanted to go and take it out, because like when you take a photo, it's like you can't, it's someone who's not a photographer, you can't, it's hard for me to like see the vision. But here, like you literally, you look and you see the vision. It's got a viewfinder and like an actual screen. It's like designed to be compact. It only has one lens. You can't change the lens. That's a con about it, but it's because it's trying to be a compact camera. It's very lightweight. I love this camera. Honestly, do not regret it at all. It's so nice to have like proper photos and like take intentional photos, like when you're camping or like having a dinner party or just like hanging out with your friends, or the sky's pretty. Like, it's so nice to be able to romanticize your life with a camera like that, and it really has been a tool for me to do that. So love that camera. No regrets. It was worth all the money, even though it is a ridiculous price. Another thing, my flowers. It's so nice to like gift yourself something that just every day you can look at. For me, I just think it's a really nice thing to do for yourself. Don't wait for other people to buy you flowers, buy yourself flowers. I am really enjoying talking about things I love. I just knew I would enjoy doing this video, so I hope some of you enjoyed it too and maybe got something from it to help you with your week. Love you guys. Thank you so much if you've watched the end of the video. I've really been on a roll with making videos and I'm really enjoying it. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a lovely week. Continue to slay and do things that you love. That's my final message.